How can you support your father? How do you support him moving forward?
The courtroom was packed with reporters, cameras, and people watching closely. Everyone was waiting to see what would happen next in Diddy's big trial. Then, things took a sudden turn. The judge gave a signal. New evidence was about to be played. It was an audio recording, and when the judge announced whose voice was on it, the whole room went silent. It was Diddy's own son, Christian Combs.
Major developments tonight involving the case against Sean Diddy Combs, what he decided in court today, and what this now means, the move coming just 4 days before his trial is set to begin. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Diddy's face went pale. The audio started playing, and what people heard shocked everyone. Christian's voice was clear. He was talking about private things that happened at Diddy's homes and parties. He mentioned the guests, the private flights, and even said that some people were paid to stay quiet. The worst part, his words made it sound like Diddy was behind it all. At first, Diddy just sat there frozen. He sipped some water, stared at the table, and tried to stay calm. But as the recording went on, his hands began to shake and his eyes filled with anger.
And when the judge did, Diddy, who was sitting at the defense table with his attorneys, did not show any signs of emotion. He took a sip of water before he was led out of the courtroom by the U.S. Marshals. Now, his lawyers have vowed to fight this. They are going to be back in court on Wednesday before the judge who will oversee this trial and try to get Diddy to be released.
Then Diddy snapped. He suddenly stood up and started yelling, pointed at the speakers playing the audio and shouted, "This is a setup." His lawyers rushed to calm him down, but he kept shouting, "He's my son. This is all lies." Gasps filled the courtroom. Reporters typed like crazy. The judge banged the gavel, trying to bring order, but Diddy wouldn't stop. He shouted over everyone, saying he was being betrayed and framed. In the end, U.S. Marshals had to escort him out of the courtroom. It was a shocking moment. No one expected the once calm music mogul to break down like that. Outside, people were already calling it Diddy's breakdown. So what was on that audio that shook him so badly? Sources say Christian talked about things only someone close to Diddy would know. Secret conversations, flights booked for mystery guests, and large amounts of cash being paid out.
Well, Bill and Sade, accepting a plea agreement would mean that Sean Combs would have to admit to trafficking and forced. And today he made it very clear that was not going to happen. Diddy maintained all along these encounters involved consenting adults and plans to take his chances that a jury agreed.
This wasn't just a son talking. It sounded like someone who knew exactly how everything worked behind the scenes, and now he was telling it all. Some people believe Christian gave up the audio to avoid going to jail himself. Others say he just couldn't keep lying. Either way, the damage was already done. Diddy's team quickly tried to explain his outburst. They said he was shocked, hurt, and felt deeply betrayed. One of his lawyers told reporters, he's not just dealing with a trial, he's dealing with his own son turning against him.
Mr. Combs feels A, he's innocent, which is why he's not going to plead guilty. B, he's going to be truthful about this case because he wants to portray that to the people who have loved him his whole life. And I think he also feels an obligation to people in general. Maybe it's black people, maybe it's white people, maybe it's anybody who's ever felt aggrieved and targeted by the government. He feels an obligation to those people to say, you know what, maybe I can break the model. Maybe I can show the world that a black man can win, in federal court. And I think he probably is the only person I know of who might be able to actually accomplish that.
Social media exploded. In New York, hashtags like Dr. Diddy Breakdown and Christian Speaks started trending. Fans were divided. Some supported Christian, saying he was brave for telling the truth. Others called him a snake for testifying against his own father. Meanwhile, Christian stayed silent. But insiders say this is just the beginning. There could be more audio, more evidence, and possibly more family members stepping forward. This trial isn't just about money or fame anymore. It's about a father and son torn apart. Diddy once had it all: fame, power, and respect. But now the same people who helped him rise are turning against him. And after what happened in court, it's clear Diddy isn't handling it well.
Hearing before Sean Combs' trial starts, when he walked into federal court today, he appeared to be looking for his family. They've pretty much been at all of the hearings that I've been to, but there was no presence of his sons or his mother or his sister who had previously been at those hearings.
Some say this breakdown could seriously hurt Diddy's case. Judges don't like it when a defendant loses control in court. The trial moves forward. All eyes are on Christian. Will he take the stand next? Will he reveal more about what really happened behind closed doors? And can Diddy pull himself together before it's too late? One thing is clear. When Diddy heard that audio, he didn't just hear his son's voice. He heard the sound of his empire falling apart, and in that moment, in front of everyone, he completely lost it. This case is far from over. But now, the world has seen a side of Diddy they'll never forget. A father betrayed, a son speaking out, and a courtroom moment that shocked the nation.